What if the entire NHL was redrafted? Season simulation from 2019 to 2022. In this NHL What If scenario, I'll be simulating 3 seasons using the teams from my NHL redraft. Of course, along the way, I will also be making trades and free agent signings. The draft order in the 2019 draft will be determined by a random number generator. Notable 2019 draft picks: Vancouver Canucks select Jack Hughes, Nashville Predators get Kaapo Kakko, Philadelphia Flyers get Vasily Podkolzin, Detroit Red Wings get Dylan Kozin, Pittsburgh Penguins get Byron Bowen, LA Kings get Trevor Zegras, Anaheim Ducks get Kirby Dach, Chicago Blackhawks get Matthew Boldy, and the Winnipeg Jets get Alex Turcotte. After the draft, there are some trades that need to be made. The Anaheim Ducks trade Kevin Shattenkirk to the Pittsburgh Penguins for Eric Gustafsson and a second-round pick in 2021. If the Ducks make the playoffs, the second-round pick becomes a first-round pick. The Minnesota Wild trade Mark Stahl and Max Klimtis to the Anaheim Ducks for Christian Djoos and Anthony Beauvillier. Arizona Coyotes trade Michael McLeod and Nathan Bastian to the Ottawa Senators for Teddy Blueger and Nikolai Kudobin. Boston Bruins trade Philip Chutel, Brandon Lemieux, and a third-round pick in 2022 to the Pittsburgh Penguins for Kasperi Kapanen and Anthony Duclair. Carolina Hurricanes trade Milan Lucic and Alec Martinez to the Columbus Blue Jackets for Cody Ceci, Dominic Simone, and a second-round pick in 2021. LA Kings trade TVR, Max Verano, and a second-round pick in 2021 to the Dallas Stars for Dan DeKaiser and Thomas Nosek. Chicago Blackhawks trade Travis Zajac to the LA Kings for a second-round pick in 2020 and a third-round pick in 2021. The St. Louis Blues acquire TJ Brody and Sean Corrali from the Winnipeg Jets for Samuel Morin, Charles Hudon, and a second-round pick in 2022. Washington Capitals trade Colin White, Jake Muzzin, and a second-round pick in 2020 to the Vegas Golden Knights for Jeff Carter and Jonas Brodin. The Toronto Maple Leafs trade Sam Steele and Eli Tolvanen to the Detroit Red Wings for Luke Cunnin and Jason Dickinson. The Tampa Bay Lightning acquired Craig Smith and David Savard from the Chicago Blackhawks for Jace Howard, Chris Tanev, and a second-round pick in 2020. The Blackhawks get an additional second-round pick in 2022 if the Lightning make the playoffs. Sergei Bobrovsky is traded to the Florida Panthers for David Rittich and a first-round pick in 2021. If Bobrovsky re-signs with the Panthers, the Senators get a first-round pick in 2024. Since the league was just redrafted, there won't be any free agent signings in 2019. In first place in the Atlantic Division are the Montreal Canadiens, followed by the Buffalo Sabres and the Florida Panthers. In first place in the Metropolitan Division are the Pittsburgh Penguins, followed by the Philadelphia Flyers and the Columbus Blue Jackets. The Toronto Maple Leafs hold the first wildcard spot in the Eastern Conference, and the Carolina Hurricanes have the second wildcard spot in the Eastern Conference. Missing out on the playoffs in the Eastern Conference are the Boston Bruins, Detroit Red Wings, New York Islanders, New Jersey Devils, New York Rangers, Washington Capitals, Tampa Bay Lightning, and Ottawa Senators. In first place in the Central Division are the Colorado Avalanche, followed by the Nashville Predators and the Winnipeg Jets. In first place in the Pacific Division are the San Jose Sharks, followed by the Arizona Coyotes and the Edmonton Oilers. The St. Louis Blues hold the first wildcard spot in the Western Conference, and the Anaheim Ducks hold the second wildcard spot in the Western Conference. Missing out on the playoffs in the Western Conference are the LA Kings, Vegas Golden Knights, Minnesota Wild, Calgary Flames, Vancouver Canucks, Dallas Stars, and Chicago Blackhawks. The Montreal Canadiens and the San Jose Sharks meet in the Stanley Cup Finals, and the San Jose Sharks win the Cup in 6 games. Roberto Luongo, Patrick Marleau, Joe Thornton, and Zdeno Chara retire from the NHL. Notable 2020 draft picks: the Chicago Blackhawks get Alexis Lafreniere, the Dallas Stars get Quinton Byfield, Ottawa Senators get Lucas Raymond, Tampa Bay Lightning get Anton Lundell, Vancouver Canucks get Alexander Holtz, Calgary Flames get Noah Gunler, Washington Capitals get Jamie Drysdale, Minnesota Wild get Kasper Semetovo, New York Rangers get Daniel Gushkin, and the Vegas Golden Knights get Jan Mysak. A 3-team trade is made between the Tampa Bay Lightning, Calgary Flames, and Washington Capitals. Tampa Bay Lightning get Jacob Silfverberg and Gustav Forsling, Calgary Flames get Jack Johnson and Craig Smith, Washington Capitals get Evgeny Svechnikov, Philip Hronek, and a second-round pick in 2021. The St. Louis Blues, Columbus Blue Jackets, and Boston Bruins make a 3-way trade. Boston Bruins get TJ Brody and Kevin Miller, Columbus Blue Jackets get Kasperi Kapanen and Radko Gudas, St. Louis Blues get Carl Grundstrom, Zach Aston Reese, and a first-round pick in 2022. Another 3-team trade is made between the Dallas Stars, New Jersey Devils, and Toronto Maple Leafs. Dallas Stars get Daniel Sprong, Jason Dickinson, and a second-round pick in 2021. New Jersey Devils get Brian Little and Gustav Nyquist. Toronto Maple Leafs get Lawson Crouse, JG Pajot, and a second-round pick in 2023. New Jersey Devils trade Igor Ogozhiganov and Zach Smith to the San Jose Sharks for Dennis Malgin and a third-round pick in 2021. St. Louis Blues trade Johnny Brodzinski, Oscar Lindblom, and a first-round pick in 2022 to the Vancouver Canucks for Dustin Brown and Jimmy Vesey. The Dallas Stars trade Andrew Ladd and Barclay Goodrow to the Calgary Flames for Johan Larsson and a third-round pick in 2021. The Nashville Predators trade Ilya Kovalchuk and Julian Gauthier to the Pittsburgh Penguins for Rudolph Balkers, Colin Wilson, and a third-round pick in 2022. If the Penguins win the Stanley Cup, the third-round pick becomes a first-round pick. The Washington Capitals trade Nicholas Backstrom and Kenny Agostino to the Ottawa Senators for Sean Monahan, Kiefer Sherwood, and Thomas Vanek. The Montreal Canadiens acquire the rights of Braden Holtby for a second-round pick in 2021. If Holtby re-signs with the Canadiens, the second-round pick becomes a first-round pick. The Edmonton Oilers acquire Philip Grubauer from the Montreal Canadiens for a second-round pick in 2021. Buffalo Sabres re-sign Torrey Krug and Andy Green. Montreal Canadiens re-sign Braden Holtby and Travis Hamonic. Vegas Golden Knights re-sign Justin Falk and Jake Muzzin. Anaheim Ducks re-sign Alex Pietrangelo. Boston Bruins re-sign TJ Brody. Colorado Avalanche re-sign Justin Schultz. Columbus Blue Jackets re-sign Chris Kreider. Edmonton Oilers re-sign Mikhail Granlund. Sergei Bobrovsky re-signs with the Florida Panthers. Nashville Predators re-sign Roman Josi. New Jersey Devils re-sign Taylor Hall. New York Rangers re-sign Jared Spurgeon. Philadelphia Flyers re-sign Evgeny Daninov. And the Toronto Maple Leafs re-sign Tyson Barrie. 2020 free agent signings. The Boston Bruins signed Austin Zarnik and Zach Kassian. Carolina Hurricanes signed Craig Smith, Connor Sheary, and Mirko Mueller. Colorado Avalanche signed Craig Anderson, Sam Gagner, and Tyler Toffoli. Columbus Blue Jackets signed Derek Forbort, Brendan Dillon, Dmitry Kulikov, and Jack Campbell. Detroit Red Wings signed Jimmy Howard and Darcy Kemper. Florida Panthers signed Mike Hoffman, Michael Frolik, Justin Braun, and Yaroslav Halak. Montreal Canadiens get JJ Pageau and Ryan Callahan. Nashville Predators signed Chris Tanev and Thomas Greiss. New York Rangers signed Mikko Koivu and Andrew McDonald. Ottawa Senators signed Charlie Coyle, Jacob Markstrom, and Marco Scandella. St. Louis Blues signed Mike Green and Carl Soderberg. Toronto Maple Leafs signed Nicholas Backstrom and Cody Eakin. The Winnipeg Jets signed Alex Galchenyuk and Anton Khudobin. The Anaheim Ducks signed Radko Gudas. The Arizona Coyotes signed Eric Haula. Zach Bogosian signs with the Chicago Blackhawks. Mikhail Bodker signs with the Calgary Flames. Dallas Stars signed Mark Pysyk. Edmonton Oilers signed Braden Shen. LA Kings signed Eric Gustafsson. New Jersey Devils signed Sammy Vatanen. Corey Crawford signs with the Philadelphia Flyers. Martin Hanzal signs with the Vegas Golden Knights. Kevin Boyle signs with the Vancouver Canucks. And TVR signs with the Washington Capitals. A three-team trade is made between San Jose Sharks, Buffalo Sabres, and Tampa Bay Lightning. The San Jose Sharks get Drake Caggiula, Blake Coleman, and Matt Irwin. Buffalo Sabres get Bobby Ryan and a second-round pick in 2023. And the Tampa Bay Lightning get Andrew Shaw and a third-round pick in 2023. In first place in the Atlantic Division are the Montreal Canadiens, followed by the Toronto Maple Leafs and the Florida Panthers. In first place in the Metropolitan Division are the Pittsburgh Penguins. The New York Islanders hold the first wildcard spot in the Eastern Conference, and the New York Rangers hold the second wildcard spot in the Eastern Conference. Missing out on the playoffs in the Eastern Conference are the Philadelphia Flyers, Buffalo Sabres, Carolina Hurricanes, Washington Capitals, Tampa Bay Lightning, Detroit Red Wings, Boston Bruins, and Ottawa Senators. In first place in the Central Division are the Colorado Avalanche, followed by the St. Louis Blues and Winnipeg Jets. In first place in the Pacific Division are the San Jose Sharks, followed by the Anaheim Ducks and the Edmonton Oilers. The Calgary Flames hold the first wildcard spot in the Western Conference, and the Nashville Predators hold the final wildcard spot in the Western Conference. Missing out on the playoffs in the Western Conference are the Arizona Coyotes, Chicago Blackhawks, Dallas Stars, LA Kings, Vegas Golden Knights, Minnesota Wild, and Vancouver Canucks. The Toronto Maple Leafs and the Colorado Avalanche meet in the Stanley Cup Finals, and the Colorado Avalanche win the cup in 6 games. Ilya Kovalchuk, Craig Anderson, Jason Pominville, Ryan Miller, Brooks Orpik, Matt Cullen, and Nicholas Cromwell retire from the NHL. In 2021, Seattle joins the NHL, so there will be an expansion draft. David Backes is traded to the Philadelphia Flyers for a second-round pick in 2023 and a third-round pick in 2024. Carl Hagelin is traded to the New York Rangers for a third-round pick in 2024. Sonny Milano is traded to the New Jersey Devils for a second-round pick in 2024. Tanner Pearson is traded to the Montreal Canadiens for a third-round pick in 2024. Radko Gudas is traded to the Boston Bruins for a third-round pick in 2023. Eric Gudbranson is traded to the Pittsburgh Penguins for a fourth-round pick in 2023 and a sixth-round pick in 2024. Victor Rask is traded to the Minnesota Wild for a third-round pick in 2023. Ben Sherratt is traded to the Detroit Red Wings for a fifth-round pick in 2024. Thomas Greiss is traded to the LA Kings for a third-round pick in 2023 and a fifth-round pick in 2024. Tobias Ryder is traded to the Edmonton Oilers for a fifth-round pick in 2025 and a seventh-round pick in 2026. This is Seattle Seattle's final roster. The first line is Jimmy Vesey, Alexander Wenberg, and James Neal. The second line is Robbie Fabry, Matthew Perreault, and Nikolai Goodolbin. The third line is Dominic Simone, Blake Coleman, and Louis Eriksson. The fourth line is Brandon Perlini, Zemgus Girgensons, and Trevor Lewis. The first D pair is Nikita Zadorov and Jeff Petrie. The second D pair is Trevor Carrick and Kevin Miller. The third D pair is John Moore and Brendan Dillon. Goalies are Pekka Rinne and Jonathan Bernier. Notable 2021 draft picks. The Ottawa Senators get Cameron Wynot. Boston Bruins get Fabian Lysell. Minnesota Wilds get Brent Clark. Detroit Red Wings get Jesper Whitested. Vancouver Canucks get Joshua Waugh. Vegas Golden Knights get Simon Robertson. Tampa Bay Lightning get Samuel Tumala. Washington Capitals get Jeremy Wilmer. And the Dallas Stars get Atu Rati. Nashville Predators acquire Carter Hutton from the Philadelphia Flyers for a third-round pick in 2023. Colorado Avalanche re-signed Tuukka Rask and David Krejci. Montreal Canadiens re-signed Alex Ovechkin and Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. Carolina Hurricanes re-signed Frederik Andersen. Chicago Blackhawks re-signed Gabriel Landeskog. Columbus Blue Jackets re-signed Nick Bjugstad. Detroit Red Wings re-signed Dougie Hamilton. Edmonton Oilers re-signed Philip Grubauer. LA Kings re-signed Travis Zajac. Nashville Predators re-signed Carter Hutton. New Jersey Devils re-signed Kyle Palmieri. The Philadelphia Flyers re-signed Dustin Byfuglien. Pittsburgh Penguins re-signed Kevin Shattenkirk. St. Louis Blues re-signed Adam Larson. Tampa Bay Lightning re-signed Eric Stahl. Toronto Maple Leafs re-signed Ryan Getzlaf. Vancouver Canucks re-signed Brendan Gallagher. Vegas Golden Knights re-signed Jaden Schwartz. And Seattle re-signs Pekka Rinne. 2021 free agent signings. Anaheim Ducks re-signed Derek Stepan, Andre Sekera, and Mike Smith. Calgary Flames signed Henrik Lundqvist and Tyler Bozak. Chicago Blackhawks re-signed Antti Ranta, James Reimer, and Jordy Ben. Colorado Avalanche signed David Savard and Ian Cole. Columbus Blue Jackets signed Alex Goligoski and Matt Niskanen. LA Kings signed Jason Demers and Nathan Beaulieu. Minnesota Wild signed Jake Allen and Brendan Smith. Philadelphia Flyers signed Nick Foligno, Artem Anisimov, and Anders Nilsson. San Jose Sharks signed Paul Stastny, Alec Martinez, Sven Berchi, and Valtteri Filppula. Tampa Bay Lightning signed Chris Russell and Zach Smith. Toronto Maple Leafs signed Jonas Brodin, Nicholas Jomelson, and Michael Grabner. Washington Capitals signed Matt Irwin and Greg Patterin. Winnipeg Jets signed Corey Perry and Brandon Sutter. Boston Bruins signed Brian Elliott. Buffalo Sabres signed Alex Steen. Carolina Hurricanes signed Mark Stahl. Edmonton Oilers signed Andrew Cogliano. Florida Panthers signed Zach Hyman. Montreal Canadiens signed Curtis McElhinney. New Jersey Devils signed Thomas Tatar. Tampa Bay Lightning signed Devin Dubnyk. Toronto Maple Leafs signed Cam Ward. And Seattle signs Jeff Petrie. A three-team trade is made between the Buffalo Sabres, Washington Capitals, and the Carolina Hurricanes. Buffalo Sabres get Ilya Samsonov and Thomas Vanek. Washington Capitals get Garrett Sparks, Craig Smith, Yoni Kokkonen, and a first-round pick in 2023. Carolina Hurricanes get Alex Kerfoot, Victor Olofsson, and a second-round pick in 2024. Another three-team trade is made between the Arizona Coyotes, St. Louis Blues, and Seattle. Arizona Coyotes get William Karlsson and Richard Panik. St. Louis Blues get Teddy Bluger, Christian Fischer, and David Perron. Seattle gets Robbie Fabry, Trevor Lewis, and a first-round pick in 2024. The Buffalo Sabres trade Anze Kopitar and Austin Watson to the New York Rangers for Jacob Vrana, Chris Tierney, Marcus Nunavara, and a second-round pick in 2025. If the Rangers make it to the conference finals, the second-round pick becomes a first-round pick. Minnesota Wild trade Jonathan Drouin to the Nashville Predators for a first-round pick in 2025. Montreal Canadiens trade Ryan Reeves to the Nashville Predators for Colin Wilson. The Nashville Predators acquire Alex Edler and Brett Connolly from the Edmonton Oilers for Jamie Oleksiak, Matthew Joseph, and a first-round pick in 2025. The Florida Panthers acquire Josh Ho-Sang and Matt Benning from the New York Islanders for Robert Mortuzzo and a third-round pick in 2026. The Vancouver Canucks trade Michael Rasmussen to the Ottawa Senators for TJ Oshie. Edmonton Oilers acquire Nathan Bastian and a third-round pick in 2025 from the Ottawa Senators for Vinny Hunter-Straza and a third-round pick in 2025. The Pittsburgh Penguins acquire Pavel Buchnevich from the Detroit Red Wings for a second-round pick in 2025. During the season, a three-team trade is made between the LA Kings, New York Rangers, and Dallas Stars. New York Rangers get Brent Burns and Jordan Martinook. LA Kings get Carl Hagelin, Tyler Johnson, and Labor Hayek. Dallas Stars get Mikhail Sergachev, Oliver Borgstrand, Eric Gustafsson, and a first-round pick in 2026. In first place in the Atlantic Division are the Toronto Maple Leafs, followed by the Montreal Canadiens and the Florida Panthers. In first place in the Metropolitan Division are the New York Rangers, followed by the Columbus Blue Jackets and New Jersey Devils. The Philadelphia Flyers hold the first wild card spot in the Eastern Conference, and the New York Islanders hold a second wild card spot in the Eastern Conference. Missing out on the playoffs in the Eastern Conference are the Pittsburgh Penguins, Tampa Bay Lightning, Washington Capitals, Detroit Red Wings, Buffalo Sabres, Carolina Hurricanes, Boston Bruins, and Ottawa Senators. In first place in the Central Division are the Colorado Avalanche, followed by the Nashville Predators and the Winnipeg Jets. In first place in the Pacific Division are the Anaheim Ducks, followed by the Arizona Coyotes and the San Jose Sharks. The Vegas Golden Knights hold the first wildcard spot in the Western Conference, and the Chicago Blackhawks hold the second wildcard spot in the Western Conference. Missing out on the playoffs in the Western Conference are the Calgary Flames, Dallas Stars, St. Louis Blues, Edmonton Oilers, Vancouver Canucks, LA Kings, Minnesota Wild, and Seattle. The Toronto Maple Leafs and the Colorado Avalanche meet in the Stanley Cup Finals again, but this time, the Maple Leafs win the cup in 7 games. A lot has changed in 3 seasons. Almost all the rosters are entirely different. In the next What If scenario, I'll be simulating another 3 seasons using these rosters.